Hi, I'm Sarah Hart from Sarah Hart Driving School and Drive Hart. So today we're going to talk about mini roundabouts. Normally the mini roundabout briefing will have taken place after you've discussed and practiced roundabouts with your pupil. So a good way to introduce mini roundabouts is to try and get them to tell you the basic differences between mini roundabouts and normal roundabouts. So one of the first things I ask them about is signalling procedures on mini roundabouts. So at a normal roundabout, if you were turning left first exit, you'd be mirror signalling left. And that actually is the same on the mini roundabout. If you're taking the first left, it's mirror signal, position, speed, look. So we're just talking about signals for the moment. So left signal for left. Following the road ahead, second exit on a bigger roundabout, you probably would signal left after you've passed the first road on the left. However, on a mini roundabout, normally a left signal is not necessary, because by the time you've come round past the first exit, you're well on your way into your second exit. So normally when we're going straight ahead at a mini, we wouldn't signal. Turning right at a big roundabout, we'd signal right on approach, and we'd signal left after the second exit, assuming we're taking the third exit. However, on a mini roundabout, it's slightly different. We'd signal right on approach, and that's extremely important. But then once we come round the corner, we've passed the second exit, we probably wouldn't be signalling left, because we're going to be working so hard with the wheel to get the car round into our new road that possibly that left signal wouldn't take place. It's not a big problem. So let's look at who we give way to on mini roundabouts. As with larger roundabouts, we give way to traffic on our right hand side. So in our snazzy car with the stripes and the crosses on, we would have to give way to the car coming from our right. However, one of the differences on a mini roundabout, if we had a large roundabout, this chap, even though he had someone coming from his right, would probably go because the guy would be much further back. But on a mini roundabout, this chap coming down here is going to prevent this chap coming out, which means that we can go. So in a way, we sort of use the guy coming straight on as a block, but it's really important that we don't assume he's a block now because he's going to go. So it's about timing of the block. So when the block is about here, we know that he's not going to go, so that gives us our cue to go. The other thing is on a mini roundabout, if we've got someone coming from opposite with an inside signal, they would have priority over us. Again, on a large roundabout, if they were the other side of the roundabout with the right signal, we might not see them, and even if we did, we'd probably have time to go before they come round and become a problem for us. But on a mini roundabout, they're going to be coming round at us in no time flat, so we'd have to wait for them. So always keep an eye on that inside signal on approach, and unfortunately some people put it on very late, so always keep a really good eye open for that. So what would happen if we had 4 cars at a mini roundabout and nobody was signalling, so everyone's going straight on, and this is what I refer to as a 4-way tie. So we're probably all going to look at each other for a minute or two, and then somebody will decide to go. Now obviously if this car here decides to go, then he's going to go, which means we have to wait. Of course, if this one opposite us starts to go, then there's our block, we can go. Now if nobody else is going to go, then we might be the one to start the process off, but if you are the one to start the process off, do it with great caution, so carefully and slowly as you go. Of course, only one of these people has to be turning to actually change the whole scenario, so now he would go. The other thing about mini roundabouts is because they're located very often in housing estates, there's quite often parked cars in the roads into which you're turning. So it's really, really important that even if you've got no one from your right and you're turning into your new road, make sure you look well ahead, because there's quite likely to be parked cars in your new road. Let's take him out of the equation. So if he's parked, he's coming down on your side of the road, so it's really important that you look well ahead. The other thing to think about is our lane discipline. So if we're going to be following the road ahead, what we shouldn't do is go straight over the middle. We sometimes call it a dustbin, the middle bit of paintwork there. We need to just come round the outside of it slightly, but it's again important not to overdo that, because if you're steering hard to the left, even though you're not signalling, this person might think you're turning, and of course he might emerge in front of you. So don't come round too deep. So just a little deviation around the island in the middle is a good plan. So the other thing that we've got to watch out for at mini roundabouts is if people are doing a U-turn. So we're a little way off from the roundabout. This guy's coming up. He's going to go because even though we're coming from his right, we're a little way off. Let's say he's going to make progress. Now I've arrived at the roundabout and I know as an experienced driver that this guy is going to do a U-turn. And at this point I'd ask my pupil how I know. He's signalling right, so therefore where's he going? And my pupil will invariably say he's going down here, which means we're good to go. But actually, because of his position, I can see that he's coming all the way around the outside. So we've got to be very careful for people doing that as well. So there's a basic introduction to mini roundabouts. So it's all about looking out for those signals. Some of the minis are open, some are closed. So some you can treat in second, some you might need to peep and creep in first, and even some you can carry on in third if it's open enough and you haven't got to do much steering. So as always with our briefings, after you've delivered the briefing to your pupil, you want to give them the student revision pack, which would obviously in that case would be about mini roundabouts, and inside the student revision pack will be a challenge for the student to take on with their supervising driver, and then the next lesson review the challenge, review what they've done with their supervising driver and use it as a good opening discussion for the next lesson. That's the end of the briefing.